Shalom, people. This is Brother Lyles coming at you with another video. Just taking a short break on my walk, and I wanted to talk to you about the shooting that happened in Dallas a few days ago, where the black man Botham Shem Jean was shot in his own apartment by a Dallas police officer who stated that she thought she was going into her apartment and seeing Mr. Jean inside, and shot him twice, killing him. Details came out later that not only did she have the wrong apartment, but she was on the wrong floor. So here we go again. A white female police officer shot an unarmed black man in his own apartment and wasn't immediately arrested because the Texas Rangers said they wanted to make sure that the charges were right before she was charged. So she walked around basically for maybe a day or so, and the Dallas police chief said that, who's black, female, turned the investigation over to them, even though the city of Dallas has a jurisdiction. Now, the reason they said they wanted the Texas Rangers to get in the investigation is because they are supposed to be on the same level as the FBI. I don't know, I don't live in Texas, but I do know she was finally arrested after the outcry of the public. I think her bail was set at $300,000, which she was able to make. I think it should have been set at $1 million, at least so she couldn't get out right away. We want to see what organizations and what forces align themselves behind her, and hopefully when the smoke clears, there can be some kind of breadcrumbs that let us as black men and black people in general know what her leanings were as it pertains to her maybe having some ties to some racist groups. There's been some pictures that have came out on the internet of her standing with certain individuals, and I know that the news said that she was involved in the shooting maybe a year or maybe a few years ago, where she shot a Hispanic man. Now, in the details that they gave to that story, I don't really feel that that shooting was something that can be held against her, because I think they said he was reaching for her taser. But the point of that is she has drawn her weapon and pulled the trigger. So once you do that, it is easier for you to do it the very next time that you're in a situation where you think you gotta shoot. So in this situation, and she still is gonna have a hard time selling it to me that she didn't know that she was in the wrong apartment. Not only that, the wrong floor. That even if it was, did you have to shoot the man? I think it's some news outlets that have come out and stated that there are people that were in the apartment complex that stated that they heard her say, "Let me in," and that she was banging on the door. I'm not certain if that's true. And if it turns out to be that that's the case and that these witnesses can be corroborated, then and whether or not it can be corroborated, she still needs to be given a murder charge. But if it turns out that these statements that these people that live in the apartment can be corroborated, then she needs to be charged with the death penalty. Because if you let this roll over, if you let this go down to manslaughter, then you're basically saying that it's okay to bust up into somebody's house and shoot them without identifying yourself, and just not even double checking. And this is not something that's new. There's stories all the time of police raids into the wrong house where people get shot and killed, and the police, because they say the informant gave them the wrong house, they get away with it. So I believe a message needs to be sent that if at least go for the death penalty. Now you'll say that's ridiculous. Well, it's like this: if she don't get the death penalty, at least she would get life in prison without the possibility of parole, because she took a great man's life. And I say great, I didn't know him, but the bio of him, he showed that this man had so much potential ahead of him, and his life to be snuffed out like that, I don't think that she should be given the chance to ever get out of jail and enjoy anything of a semblance of a life, because this man who was given and has so much to give to humanity, she took his life like that. And not to mention, if it comes out that she was lying about his door being open, and that she seen a big, and let's just say what she probably gonna say, a big black shadow, and shot into the darkness or whatever, however, whether it was lighted or not, that she would just shoot in there. She shouldn't see the light of day as far as I'm concerned. This, more than anything, is letting me know that Most High is, turning up the heat on us as of Judah here in America. He's making things hard for us. He's making conditions uncertain for us, because he's trying to get us used to the idea that no matter what, will we ever feel comfortable in this place, even in our nice homes? Because I think it's the South Flats where he lived was supposed to be an exclusive area, and he had a nice job. I think they said he was a risk management analyst at Price Waterhouse, which is a worldwide accounting firm. He had a very good voice. He was a Christian, believer in Mashiach. So, he wasn't, on the outer edges of society like they always try to use. They can't pull up no pictures of him holding any guns, or can't pull up any pictures of him sagging his pants or anything like that. He was a clean-cut individual, and he had all his ducks in a row. And it's so sad. He's 26. I think he was. That's around the same age as one of my sons. So he could have been my son. He could have been your son. And we gotta speak out on this one. This one can't fly. And I'm not saying that in the past we have let any of the deaths of the other black gentlemen or even the other woman fly. We haven't, not said anything. But if any time in our recent history as Hebrews, as black people in this nation, that we need to stand up and galvanize, it needs to be for this incident, because this gentleman was doing everything that this country states you need to do to be a contributor to this nation. He indeed, I think he was an immigrant from St. Lucia, but he was a contributor. And I like what his mother stated, and she's a Christian too, looks like. She said she wondered if her son had been in a different color, she would have been so quick to shoot her firearm. And even though his family might not be wholeheartedly behind any of the things that we as black people might state about what's going on, he comes from a good family. That doesn't mean that their decision not to speak should be a decision for us not to speak, because even though it's her son's death and shooting is a microcosm of what will continue to happen. There'll be the escalation of the use of force against us, that if we don't say something, then it will continue. They state that a wolf loves to kill a prey that is defenseless, that doesn't fight back. I think they say that if whatever prey that is coming against doesn't fight back, it'll attack it even more ferociously, you see. So it won't say, well, it's gonna be a pushover, I'll go easy. No, it's gonna go all out and just ravish that whatever prey that is on. So if we as black people, and I'm not saying that we are, would say, hey, everybody go down there and burn down Dallas, Texas, which would not be possible, because Texas is the gun state. But if we could converge as many black people onto Dallas to shut down commerce for a few days, and if we could get, if people could send money to black people that live down there and tell the black people down there, hey, y'all just stop participating in the economy of Texas for about a week, in Dallas, or this the whole state, and see what would be the outcome of that, because something needs to be done. But ultimately, we know the answer is going to be when Mashiach comes back. But we can't use that as an excuse to sit back and do nothing and say nothing. Even Yeshua, even he, when he was on the earth and he knew the Rhodians and what they stood for, and all the things that they had done, especially when he was born, killing all the children 2 years and under. When they came to him and said Herod wanted to see him, Mashiach, Yeshua, Christ, said, go ye and tell that dog. So he understood, hey, this is not a good guy, and I'm not gonna give him a standing room only performance. I didn't come for him. I came to heal my people. I came to minister to my people. And so I say the same thing to those forces that would say that we need to be quiet about this and let the wheels of justice roll on. I say that we need to minister and we need to heal our people. Be blessed.